circle, and I'm using the research language and concepts of Dr. Joan Collier. I got a chance to speak with her too. She's amazing. But
Yeah.
anyways, the methodology is all about a way for Black women, any part of the diaspora, to come together to be able to uplift, empower, to
Yeah.
encourage. And for me, it's in the spaces of education, right? Because that's the space that I'm living in right now.
Hmm.
But that is the method by which she used to do her research. So for instance, I'm researching why Black women over 50 go back to school because that's my lived experience. And
Yeah.
so I'm doing that, but I want to know what other Black women in that same experience felt when they were going through this process. Did they encounter some of the challenges I'm coming through? What made them want to do it? School is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already working full time. We have families, we have partners, all these things. So why are we doing that? The way in which she did that for her research was to call women together that says, if you have this lived experience, come and talk with me so I can understand what you went through. But it's always around food. It's around gathering and being together. And what she found, which I'm hoping to find too, is that when we gather in spaces like that, just like you said, we're free to be ourselves. We can play whatever music we want. We can eat the way that we eat. We can talk the way that we talk. We don't have to switch. We don't have to do any of that because we are genuinely being who we are in community with other Black women.
Yeah. So mine is a little bit different because I'm mixed.
Okay.
Not only am I mixed, but I'm from Israel.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Jewish, I'm Black, I'm vegetarian, and I'm in big ass Texas. And it don't matter where I'm at, it really
No, it won't
doesn't matter.
matter. It
Okay.
won't matter.
When I was in Oregon, it was like I'm one of those people that can fit in any crowd, yet I'm a little bit of everything.
That's good.
So, for example, I went to what is it, Dukes and Boots party out here. They're doing
Yeah.
all the stepping things.
Yeah.
When I tell you I stand out like a sore thumb, I stand out. But I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna try to keep it clean, but I'm typically not that clean. But I'm like, listen, my mission tonight is to learn these stepping
Yeah.
dances, right? But I also like a whole range of music,
Yeah.
have a whole range of friends, and some things I feel comfortable in Black groups. Some things I don't feel comfortable in Black groups. Some
Really?
I feel comfortable in white groups. Some
Okay.
I feel comfortable in the Jewish groups. Sometimes I don't feel comfortable in none of those groups. And I realized with me, I'm Ellie Shama. I'm Sha Ma Banks. And I know what I like, and it doesn't always come in a color,
Yeah.
I know who
That's
I am,
good.
and it doesn't always come in a color. It doesn't always come in an age, it doesn't always come from a location.
Fair.
And coming from Israel, I came from a Black community in Israel, but ask me if I feel comfortable in that Black community.
Wow. Shama. Wow.
Like, no, okay, let me rephrase this because I don't this is not intended to insult anybody. I
Of
feel
course.
comfortable. I can feel comfortable anywhere. I'm a flexible person, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but the more I recognize who I am, the more I get in tune with myself and my spirituality and
Yeah.
the gifts that I'm given. I can't let anybody in my circle, no matter where they come from, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what language they speak, what history we may or may not have. So now I'm like, it's a certain type of woman that I'm looking for,
Yeah.
and listen, it was a proud moment that the first one, it was 4 Black women.
Yeah. I love that.
It was very proud. It was also a surprise to me
Why?
because I again, sometimes I fit very well in Black communities and sometimes I don't,
Right.
especially because I'm not from here. Now, I got my
Mm-hmm.
close Black friends, but I also realize like my gift is that it has been very sharpened since since moving to Lubbock and since becoming more and more spiritual and really recognizing who I am. So now I can it's like I'm automatically drawn to the right people.
That's
You know,
cool. Yeah.
so I don't have as much problems with these groups anymore. 1 second, hold on, hold on. Yeah,
That's very interesting. Yeah. I can understand the peace that comes with being around a certain type of person. And it doesn't have to be a Black experience or white experience. It doesn't have to be any of that.
yeah,
Because I too share some peace in multiple different scenarios and spaces in my life. It just so happens that the research I'm doing is about a Black woman's experience. But
yeah,
I hear you. And for me, it's the vibe more so
exactly.
of the individual that I'm kicking it with, right? Because like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm like, I think I'll head out. I think I'll go. But in this
Yeah, that's what
situation,
I'm saying.
yeah,
It could be whatever group. If I'm not feeling it, I promise myself I'm not standing no more
yeah,
uncomfortable situations. Cause and that's another thing that made me do these circles is that I got tired of joining other people's circles that are not, let me put it like this. When you feel like you're chasing, trying to get what
yeah,
you want, and then somebody feel like they doing you a favor,
yeah,
and then when you realize you a boss, you could make your
yeah,
own circle, you know, and that you want what you want. And like when you recognize what you do for other people, then it's only a matter of time before it actually happens. Because if you have a gift, it wasn't by mistake. God gave,
mhm,
he gave you this gift
exactly.
and it's gonna work, no matter how long it take, it's gonna work. And I
Right.
know when you recognize you have a gift too, then I know that's probably not the right term, but I feel like you become lethal,
Yeah,
because now I know. I didn't know before, and
that's
people were
true.
able to use me before. But now that I know, and I thought to myself, well, if other people could use me to do this, what if I just use it for myself?
For yourself. Right, 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 right.
Yep. And then like also it's like they always say it's lonely at the top, right? But it ain't lonely at the top if you bring other people up there with you,
Yeah, that's
you know?
cool. That's
And if
really
I'm
cool.
at the top and I'm balling, I want my I want my sister
Yes,
right there balling with me. I want them to be like, "Oh, we going to Dubai? Okay, what? You already got the hotel? I got
yes.
like it's so much better." And for a long time in our lives, I feel like we try to convince people of things, but they don't see that. They don't see it. They don't see how it's possible, and you waste your energy trying to get them to see the
Trying to
vision.
convince them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
once you once your skills sharpen, once you start realizing and you have a vision of what you want, then the right people start lining up. And I'm
Yeah.
realizing like in this last year, I don't have to go through 100 minions to get to the person I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
It just it's like they just instantly filtered out, and anybody who don't belong, they get rid of themselves.
But yeah, they'll filter themselves out.
Yeah, so now like these women are just popping up. Now my message is like fine-tuned.
Yeah.
It finally is direct. It is very clear. If this ain't no whining circle,
Right.
this is for us to leave here and be ready to conquer whatever task that we're trying to conquer. And yeah, I actually was trying to figure out, okay, cool. How do I make this to where like I don't need people money in my pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's a lifestyle I'm trying to help people get to. It's a lifestyle we're trying to have. And that lifestyle looks a certain kind of way. And that lifestyle, the vibe
Yeah.
is happy. The vibe is success.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe
Mm-hmm.
is that retirement. But like when you young enough to still enjoy it,
Yeah. Yeah.